What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the GoodeBaker podcast. I'm Nick Baker, and across from me, Shane Good.
Schmitty, handsome and watchman Jenkins.
And we are here to talk to you about video games. But first, before we get into things, I want to give everybody a reminder, for listeners, to make double sure that you hit that subscribe button on YouTube, look for us, and listen for us on Apple Music and Spotify. And, of course, follow us on our social media to keep up with whatever we're doing in the future. And now, what are we playing, man? What have you been playing?
Well, first
I gave it a little guess here, but you can go ahead and fill the people in.
First I want to I didn't completely throw you off, but I kind of got you a little bit. I could tell you weren't expecting it.
Yeah, no, we've been a little dry these last few weeks, so now coming back, it's like, oof, we had some time off.
Yup.
We're a little past a week now. I think we took a little while to get back together, but we've been busy. We're busy guys.
Very true, but so I've been playing this new game actually.
All right, what's the new game?
It's called League of Legends.
I thought you were gonna do like League of Exile or Path of Legends.
Oh damn, missed opportunity.
Yeah, next time.
No, honestly, I've been so busy with work and doing a bunch of other stuff that a lot of times when I have time to play video games, I just kind of sit down and do, like a round or two of League of Legends. So this week's been a little dry in the gaming front. However, I did go undefeated on one of my accounts for my new ranked record, which was 9 games. It was across the span of the entire week, but I was undefeated for 9 games.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's just you had a hot streak and it was just kind of sparsed out throughout the week.
Yep. Yeah. I have several different accounts, and there's one account that I only play if I'm feeling really kind of good. Like if I'm really doing well in my other games, I might jump on that one and just kind of play a game or play maybe 2 or something like that. And that particular account, that's kind of what I was doing. I wanted to see how long I could keep a win streak on, and I beat my record of 6-9 now. So.
Oh damn! All right.
But
that's a streak.
Yeah. What about you, man? What have you been playing? Anything new or?
No, just everything old. I'm diving back through the backlog, and there's really not too much new that I have interest in. I've been looking into Resident Evil 3 that came out a few 6 weeks, 2 months ago. I can't even remember at this point. We've been in quarantine for so fucking long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really nice out. So I've been trying to spend a little bit of time outside. I haven't been gaming as much, but when I do, I've been diving into the backlog, like I said, and I've been doing the Dot Hack remasters, the Dot Hack GU remasters, which are like old PS2 games. Final Fantasy 12, which is also an old PS2 game, but I've been trying to chip away at Days Gone too. I just can't like fully get into that. There's something holding me back about it. It's just I don't know whether it's the
gameplay,
the constant like horrible grumblings that your main character does, and they're consistently the same shit over and over again. So it's like that kind of the quality of that really bugs me.
Yeah,
especially coming from such a well written game like Assassin's Creed had so many lines of dialogue that you could just pass by somebody the same time or anybody in the world and they'd have something different to say.
But, GTA style, like learn how to drive, except you're not driving, you're just walking
right
by.
Yeah, that's more what Days Gone's got going on. It's just like pretty much the same shit. If you walk by the same person like 3 or 4 times, they're gonna say the same line, and it gets old really fast because you go back to these camps that you constantly get missions or sell your stuff at or give the traders some gross fucking freaker ears for points for the game. It's a really strange system.
Yikes.
But yeah, I've been trying to chip away at that because I do actually enjoy what they're going for story in that game. It's kind of an interesting take on the post-apocalyptic love story where you kind of, it's almost like I Am Legendy, where Will Smith's character at the beginning of I Am Legend kind of sends his family off on a chopper. It's kind of the same concept where his name's Deacon. Yeah, Deacon St. John puts his wife at the time, Ashley, on maybe it's Ashley. I don't even know at this point, but puts her on a chopper to get her out of the quarantine zone that they're in, and then shit just goes haywire. So he's been stuck there for years. So that's kind of the gist of the beginning of the story, and it's got me grasped. So,
That's cool.
but like I said, the gameplay and some of the dialogue just really bug me sometimes. It's just a lot of the same stuff, especially combat can be kind of samey and feel, I guess, not as fully fleshed out as I think it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I've been playing. But we don't have many big topics of the week, but we have some big topics of the week because
Big,
you know,
big.
I'm a Sony fanboy, and it's it's
What?
pretty much it's pretty much Sony's counterpunch to whatever Xbox called that gameplay reveal last week.
Right. I don't remember, but it
So
was it was important for sure.
the first thing they this wasn't actually sanctioned by Sony themselves. It was actually Epic Games that came out and revealed the Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
But they did say that it was running on a PS5, which it's a PS5 dev kit at this point, but it is fully running on a PS5. And the demo, if you watch it all the way through, is pretty impressive, especially when it gets to the point with all the statues and the lighting in that throne room.
It definitely was unreal.
Yeah. Oof. Taking those jokes to the next level, man.
Woo!
Oof.
All right. Anyways, no, honestly, it was really impressive. Especially like, I think that computers and consoles are just becoming more and more comparable with each other. Minus the fact that obviously, if you want to sit down and spend an absorbent amount of money, obviously you can make a computer significantly better than a console just because you have the ability to upgrade it with different features. But I think
Right.
that
And optimize it, right?
yeah, exactly. And there's so many things you can do. I think that consoles, the PlayStation 5 and the what are they calling the Xbox? Is
The Series X.
right, the Xbox Series X. I think that they're taking such a big jump like for where it is. I think this is definitely the best jump that any console has ever taken. Even the PS2 in comparison to the computers at the time really wasn't comparable. Like the PS3 wasn't really comparable, but I really do feel like the consoles are going to be comparable for almost every computer game, especially with the way that they're, utilizing that new engine, and they're going to be able to as it gets fleshed out even more.
Yeah, the engine itself is super impressive, and it's come out now recently. Obviously, Xbox
Yeah.
Series X is going to support the same engine. Anything that will support Unreal Engine 5 will obviously look as good as this. But
Mhm.
the thing that really struck me about the whole thing is, I mean, the graphics are great. I think that the lighting is just imminently going to be better on whatever system we get next, or PC we get next, just because you can process a hell of a lot more. But what I'm really impressed by is the smoothness of like the movement of the character,
Mhm.
where you're moving the camera around the character, and there's not much motion blur, if any at all. It's so you can see everything in the frame at all times, which is one of the things that I've been complaining about like not only console, but just whatever game, whenever a game comes out that has that motion blur part added to it, it's just hiding flaws or hiding dropped frames. And I think that games are either going to hit that or not, and it's going to be really obvious now in the next gen, especially on PC. Geez, if there are any drop frames on those PC games, they just fire right up
Pretty
on,
much.
on
I
the Reddit
mean,
forums.
you have to be 120 frames solid, and honestly, we're hitting the 144. People are like starting to get butthurt. But
Man,
I mean, hey, it's a whole nother conversation if you want to talk about if you can even see past 120 hertz. So like, that's just a debate for a different day.
sure is. But you know what's not
What's not?
is the Ghost of Tsushima State of Play that they released on Thursday, and oh my god,
You're right. That's a
this
debate for today.
this game looks so good
Yeah, it does.
in so many ways. You're watching the trailer as we speak, or were
I
at the
currently am.
beginning of, yeah, and what's the first thing that takes your mind?
All right.
The lighting, the colors,
Do
the
you
setting.
really want to know?
Yes.
You're real. Okay. Here's
Let
what
me know.
takes my mind. Um, in every single scene where he's on a horse, they make it a point for him to pick up bamboo.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like,
That's like one of those things. That's just like behind closed doors. Like this is really fucking convenient. We need to have this in our game.
like I like the idea and I like that you can do it. I just found it really funny that it's like gameplay trailer, epic cinematics. Wait a second, that's not cinematic. That's real gameplay. Man, flying on a horse. Look at the trees. Look at the bamboo that he just picked up. Look at more bamboo that he just picked up. Like I don't know, it got me.
I love it just because it speaks so much to actual gamers. It's like
Yeah, it really
this is what
does.
you're actually going to be doing in the game, and this is why this is so convenient. Like we'll show this in a trailer because people want to see this. This is parts of gameplay that make people really really happy and make people want to spend hours in the game. It's like
Yeah,
you care for the player's time when you do shit like that. Nobody wants
exactly.
to get off their horse every single time to get. I mean, generally it makes things more realistic, and I dig that in certain games, maybe like Red Dead Redemption or whatever. But keep that shit in there. If you want to make like a fun action game, make sure that you can pick shit up on the back of your horse.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's the little quality of life things that
Mm.
really make the difference.
That's one thing that Days Gone does get right is when you're on your motorcycle and you're killing freakers or whatever.
Hmm.
Their little bodies that are on the mini map will show an X,
Hmm.
and if you run over that X with your bike, you'll pick up the collectible, whatever it is. I think you just collect ears, but I'm pretty sure you can collect like other body parts from them to sell at shops or whatever.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's disgusting, but yeah, quality of life, man, gotta love it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, aside from the quality of life things, I think the game itself is stunning. I think the thing that catches me the most about the game is the way that everything moves. Everything is just so flowing and just lifelike and just very vibrant for such a kind of dark game. Everything is just so there. It's a weird thing to pick out, but the grass moves just so as like your character also reacts to the way that the grass is moving and your horse kind of, the fur on your horse, the tail of your horse also moves with the wind and just I can appreciate the physics that and all the time that they had to put into the game to really make those fine details and that one blade of grass, flick to the left. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I think that with how seriously they're taking like the wind physics in that game, where it's actually your point of direction, where you'll press like the right D-pad, I think it is,
Hmm.
and you'll see the wind blow in the direction of your current objective, which I think is such a cool touch because they have foregone the mini map and any kind of compass to actually using your environment to see certain things. So you'll be able to open up your larger map, your overview of the island that you're on, but you won't be able to actually look at a mini map while you're actually playing the game. So anything that you see in the contextual area around you will actually entice you to go and find stuff like smoke in the distance or a mountaintop that might have a shimmering tower on it. Those are all really cool things that I think that they're adopting from Zelda Breath of the Wild just perfectly, because that's one of the things
Hmm.
about that game that is so impressive is that at any moment in time when you're playing that game, you're looking around and you're like, wow, that's really cool. I want to go explore that. And then you're off for another hour and a half trying to figure out how to get up there with what limited stamina you have or materials or weapons.
Hmm.
And I hope that they capture even a fraction of that in this game. And if they do, I think it's going to be a classic for PlayStation.
I agree. I could easily see this being a very like successful title, especially with just I just feel like they've taken all of the right elements from a Dark Souls-esque game, but they've taken all the right elements from an exploration game as well, and they have a world that just suits both of these play styles. I think that they're just gonna grab so many genres of people that normally wouldn't pick a game like this out.
Yeah. Another
So
thing I wanted to say about it before we move on is it does take a lot from the worlds of like Assassin's Creed and Far Cry with its combat, some of its combat, and its wildlife interaction. Where I think at one point in the trailer he passes by on his horse a an animal attack. I think it's like a bear attacking some dude. It's very spur of the moment, like Red Dead is, where you kind of look off the trail and you see like a cougar just tearing into a guy, and you're like, well, I could go over there and fight that, or I could wait until the cougar kills that guy, steal that guy's money, and kill the cougar and take the skin.
yeah, I mean that
I
sounds
like
more
that. I like
profitable.
that play. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited for that. But the combat itself, the interesting new flair that they're adding is the ability to stand off with your opponents, and it's such a cool concept to have that like quick strike match before you get into it with like everybody in the camp.
Yeah.
But the ghost looks really cool to play as too, with all that really unique stealth. All the really unique stealth animations I feel like are really different and really specific to that play style. The only thing is it looks kind of samey to a lot of other stealth games where you're actually throwing the rock to get somebody away from it. And they're in there. They're like, use fear against your enemies, and you're just throwing a rock. You're like, well, yeah, I don't know if I'm striking fear into them quite yet.
Use fear. Also, you. Look, a sparkler's on the ground over there.
Oh no, it's firecrackers. It must be a dragon.
It must be a dragon. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, give
But
or take, of
yeah,
course.
I'm so psyched. It's coming out July 17th, I think, now, and the same day as um, Paper Mario, the new Paper
Yeah,
Mario game.
Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, one of those. Paper Mario is pretty good. I remember playing Paper Mario on Super Nintendo. Oh, excuse me, I get the hiccups. Super Nintendo, I think it was.
N64, I think, was the
Was
first
it
one.
N64? I played it when it came out. Well, not when it came out. I played it when I was like 12. And I had
The
an N64 and a Super Nintendo, so I always get those freaking games mixed up.
the Super Mario RPG, I think, was on the Super Nintendo, and that's very similar. But it obviously Paper Mario has its own aesthetic
Right.
and whatever, but it does have a similar-ish combat system. It's the combat system's a lot more like hmm, I'd say like a Golden Sun mixed with Final Fantasy, but also if you've ever played the Mario and Luigi RPGs on the Game Boy, uh, it's a lot like that too, where you're
Okay.
kind of using button prompts in mid combat to like hit critical attacks, and but it is mostly turn based and like skill based.
Well, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, and I'm looking forward to another RPG on the Switch, because it's just such a perfect place for it, where you can kind of start and stop when you want and
Yeah.
carry it with you, so you can take it on a road trip or whatever.
It's nice to switch things up from a console.
Anyway, speaking of consoles,
What?
segue.
Consoles? Segway? Okay, go ahead.
PS4 Pro Special Edition for The Last of Us Part 2 was announced
Whoa!
the other day, and it looks pretty cool. I
I
think
di-
it's probably one of the better looking special editions that they've had.
didn't see
I'm
that
pretty.
coming.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did see it coming, just simply because Last of Us is the flagship title for the PS4, and I think it's going to be
Yeah.
the real swan song, along with Ghost of Tsushima, hopefully.
I
You
hope
know,
that they have Ghost of Tsushima consoles.
oh man, those
That
would
just
look
be.
so cool.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, that's actually really cool. I just looked up that console. It's wait, it comes. You can get the full thing, and it comes with a backpack and a DVD and a fucking standalone of her playing guitar and a bunch of like. That's pretty
Oh yeah,
cool.
the like super ultimate special edition or whatever that comes with.
Elite edition.
Oh, elite. Yeah, nice.
Elite.
I, I I mean, we've obviously talked this game to death too, much like Cyberpunk. But yeah, I
Sure.
can't wait for this, man. Next month, it's under a month away. It's so close now. Uh, I've been waiting to get into the rest of the story for this game all right, rest the rest of the story for this, I guess, franchise is the word I was looking for so long. I can't wait to actually just see how they've grown each of the characters, how the relationship between Joel and Ellie has grown or weakened in the time that has been in between, spoilers, but Joel like lying to Ellie at the end of the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see.
I it definitely will be interesting.
Yeah. But that is everything we have for you this week, unless you have anything to add.
Yeah, yeah, of course I do. Uh, I would say, like our YouTube, subscribe. If you've made it this far, you might as well continue, tuning into our content because if you've made it this far, clearly you like us enough to like our page, right? Come on.
I mean, yeah, you stuck around for what, like 21 minutes now?
Yeah,
I
that was
think it
a
is.
kind of a weird estimate considering it was exactly 21 minutes on the dot. There's no way you'd know that unless you timed it. It's a little weird.
I am timing it.
Anyways,
The secret. But yeah, of course, follow us on our social media accounts. You know where we're at: Facebook, Instagram meme page.
yo,
Just look for us, Good Baker Games or Good Baker Memes.
good
We're
baker and we'll
everywhere.
come
So
up.
yeah,
But
until next time.
peace.
Peace.